Hello guys, so I'm going to start off this section of the unit, which is our last section, with vocabulary. We do have 11 words that are, really important for you guys to understand. So I kind of made a foldable where I have tabs, right? And we open them and, close them. On one of these little triangles, I'll put the word, and then on the other one later on, I'm going to do a drawing. And then when we open it, we're going to have the definition right here. So the first one is just the title, food chain and or slash food web vocabulary. This one I'm just going to glue it right there. These are the ones that are going to be opening and closing. The first word we're going to start off with is going to be autotroph. So I'm going to move it up. Autotroph. And the definition is going to be an organism that makes its own food. Okay, for example, we have plants. So I'm just going to put example, plants. Okay, so an autotroph is an organism that makes its own food. The next word is producer. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one. And again, it is an organism that can make its own food. Just like an autotroph, right? So basically they're the same. Autotroph and producers, they are the same. The next word is going to be heterotroph. And we had already seen a lot of these words that we're going to go over today. Let me move it up. Heterotroph. Heterotroph. And again, my drawing's going to go up here. And that is an organism that cannot make its own food. Example, humans. Now, because we cannot make our own food, we are considered consumers. The next word is consumers. consumers. And those are an organism that obtains energy and nutrients by feeding on other organisms or their remains. So a consumer is an organism that obtains energy and nutrients by feeding on other organisms or their remains. Okay, so now we're going to go over the types of consumers that we have, and we're going to end up jumping into the other small little foldable that I made. I'll leave it right there. Okay, the next one is a herbivore. A herbivore. And a herbivore is a consumer that eats only plants. Okay, close those. Okay, the next one is going to be a carnivore. And remember, your pictures are going to go right here on top. And that is a consumer that eats only animals. Our next type of consumer is going to be the omnivore. The omnivore. And an omnivore is an animal that eats both plants and animals. We have two more or one more consumer, and then we're going to have the decomposer, and then two more words. So it's a total of 11 vocabulary words. Our next one is going to be the detrivore. No, the tritivore. And that is an organism that feeds on plants, well, on plant and animal remains and other dead matter. Our next word is going to be a decomposer. A decomposer, and I'm for sure drawing a mushroom right here. Okay, and a decomposer is an organism that breaks down waste and dead organisms. Okay. The next word is going to be a predator. Okay, a predator. And that is an animal that hunts other animals for food. And as an example, I mean, we can have a tiger, a lion, a cheetah. You know, you can put in as many examples as you want. And our last word is going to be a prey, or the prey. So prey. And that is an organism that is killed and eaten by another organism. So now the way that I'm going to put these foldables in my notebook is going to be like this. Okay, so let me zoom out. Let's see if it zooms out. Right there. Okay, so I've got food chains, food web, vocabulary. I've got all my words. Of course, I still need to add my drawings. And then, you know, autotroph, vocabulary word. Producer, vocabulary word. Detravore, you know, and omnivore, vocabulary words. So it's a flippable. Now, if let's say, Ms. Camacho, I do not have white paper, I cannot get this done, don't worry. Then what you can do is on your notebook paper, you do 3 sections. One would be for the word. So, you know how I am about lines. I mean, they're not that perfect, but okay. So I could have, you know, the term, the definition, and then the drawing. Okay, so I could start off again with autotroph. And I would put it right here. And I would put, you know, an organism. That create its own food. And then I would have my drawing, right? So I'm just gonna, you know, that's a really bad flower. Okay? And that's it, right? And then you move on to the next one. So you skip a line and then you would go to producer. And then you would have your word. I mean, I'm leaving however you want to do your vocabulary up to you, but I do want to see these 3 things: the term, the definition, and the drawing. Okay, so again, you can do it like this if you don't have white paper. You know, you might only need 1 piece of white paper. So my other thing was like just doing these little flip area and then just having the word on top and you're drawing on top, but then you flip it and it's the regular, you know, sheet of paper, you know, and you can also do that as well. Okay, so again, it is up to you how you want to do your vocabulary. You will be having a quiz on this vocabulary probably on Wednesday. It's going to be a really short quiz. It might be matching definitions or matching pictures, or, you know, the lion is an example of A, and I'm going to give you different, you know, words. That is it for today. Do not forget to do your exit ticket, which is related to your vocabulary for the last part of Unit 4. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, guys. I will see you tomorrow.